Across France, there are thousands of beautiful chateaux, many forgotten and abandoned.
So someone's been here recently, Tim.
Now they're being brought back to life by adventurous Brits. They're taking on the challenge.
What's that one? Injector seat.
To transform these once unloved buildings.
Is it coffee time yet?
Into incredible homes. And businesses.
I think that's absolutely perfect for the start of the wedding.
There'll be triumphs.
Definitely the nicest bathroom we ever had.
Yeah.
And setbacks.
This isn't happening at the moment.
But however hard the going gets,
Wow.
those who've made the move
What a space. Look at that.
Cheers!
get to live the dream
You know, everything we're doing at the moment is an adventure.
woohoo, as custodians of their very own castle. Today, battling to restore their wild chateau garden puts this couple at loggerheads.
Well, look, there's nothing else than trees. It's like too many trees.
You're not allowed to chop down any big trees without my permission.
Okay.
Creating a new bridal suite triggers a series of setbacks for this fledgling wedding host.
It's all falling apart. Look.
Surprise. You never know what you're going to get. Surprises always cost money.
And lofty landscaping ambitions hit the rocks at this rundown property.
I'm just a little bit worried that we're not going to get the shape that we plan to achieve.
God. Chateau gardens can make an important first impression. Many owners face a mammoth task, restoring their extensive grounds to their former glory, but the best time to get cracking is in their off-season when guests are few. The 15 acres of wooded parkland at Le Fleur certainly attracted fashion designer Anna and her Italian filmmaker husband Philip, who purchased the property for £900,000. With daughters Lily and Ella, they left their hectic lives in Paris almost 2 years ago to take on a new adventure in northern France.
Life is really different to before when we lived in Paris. Like here, the kids have so much freedom and I don't have the busy commute anymore to work. You know, we're working for ourselves.
We never question the choice to come here. I think it's, yeah, that's something we're sure that it was a good decision.
Located a few miles from the coast, Anna and Philip quickly restored 3 guest suites in the 16-room property so they could open last summer as a luxury B&B. So far this winter, they've completed a downstairs guest washroom with a mural hand-painted by Anna.
Definitely the nicest bathroom we ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And made a start on renovating their 4th guest bedroom, which is getting a new ensuite bathroom.
There's 2 ways of doing it. The elegant way and the way I'm doing it.
But today, they're starting a major long-term project in the chateau grounds.
A chateau like this obviously came with a formal garden, and when we bought it, it was completely overgrown.
When we were looking through a box with old documents, we found a plan of the layout, which was probably done about 100 years ago. And we've even found some pictures, some old pictures, and the garden looked really beautiful and much smarter. And so I think it's Philip's dream to sort of bring that back.
The first step is to cut down many of the self-set trees, and from then on we can look at it and decide how we want to get on, what we want to do.
But sometimes getting started is half the battle.
It's coming back to life. Like workout. Start with this bush here, a hazel tree. And what we mostly have here is holly. Holly everywhere.
Hey. How's it going?
Hey.
You can't hear me.
What do you think?
Yeah. You're just cutting the holly, right?
Basically everything here.
Not that big tree there.
This big tree, this.
No. Why don't you just do around it? You know, all the holly and the bushes and leave the trees.
But it's just random trees. It's not nice trees.
I love the feeling that we've got like a woodlands around us, and I'm scared that if you start chopping down all the big trees, we're just gonna have like no trees left.
Well, look, there's nothing else than trees. It's like too many trees.
Yeah, but just leave the tree.
There's a saying, too many trees in France hide the forest.
What?
Does it make sense in English?
No.
But that's why you don't understand what I'm doing.
No,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to chop down any big trees without my permission.
Okay.
Okay. Are you gonna do a bonfire afterwards?
I can't hear you, sorry.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, whoever gets the final word, there's still a whole lot of clearing to be done. In the southern region of Occitanie, known for its pretty villages, prehistoric cave systems, and ancient oak forests, lies the charming Château Le Fleur de Pradier. This 19th century chateau has 17 rooms and 6 outbuildings and was bought 2 years ago for £278,000 by British-Australian artist and interior designer Julia.
The chateau and the grounds inspire me every day because it's like I'm walking out into a beautiful painting. On one hand, I wish all my renovation work was all over with so I could just paint and create art.
A 2-hour drive from Toulouse, the property was previously the home and workplace of celebrated French artist Bernard Dufour, which Julia's characterful renovations have nodded to.
He loved using colour, and I love using colour, and I think these big old buildings need colour. They traditionally would have been quite colourful in their day. So I just let the house sort of tell me how it wants to look. And it wants to be colourful.
Last time we met Julia, with the help of her friend Jane,
Wow.
she transformed the neglected caretaker's cottage into a stylish one-bedroom gîte, complete with her own artwork.
How divine.
It looks good there, it's very cheerful.
The refurbished barn is almost ready to let for events, and with the first wedding booked in just 6 months' time, there's a more urgent renovation to be tackled.
This is going to be the bridal suite. Got some cracks in the ceiling, got a huge crack in the wall behind the wardrobe here. But then repaint. Hello. And I got this gorgeous antique French bed, which will stay in here. And I have the most gorgeous fabric, which I'm going to remake all the curtains. I still call it my bedroom because I will still use it. And then when we have wedding parties here, I will move out into another room and have this for the bride and groom. Hey, Tabitha.
Julia's chosen a subtle colour for the walls, as she has plans for the curtains to be the centrepiece of the room.
So the curtains are really what's adding the colour to the room, because there's going to be a lot of curtains. There's going to be 6 curtains and then a curtain over this door into the bathroom. So it's a lot of this fabric. I'm doing what I like and what will please me, and I like this. I just hope and trust that if I like it, other people are going to like it.
Happy with her colours,
Morning, Hov.
now the builders can prep the room for painting.
Okay.
There's been nothing done to this room in several decades, if not longer, and Julia's keen to see how much work Hovik thinks will be needed on the ceiling and walls.
So what are you going to start with?
Oh yeah, we're going to start with this bit. We're going to cut it off, try to save that
Oh, wow.
form.
Okay.
Hovik has noticed some loose cornicing above one window, which has to come down, and it's bringing bits of the ceiling with it.
Something is holding.
I don't know if it's the original or not. I know the house was remodelled in the mid-1800s.
Ah, that's the some falling apart. Look, it's a bricks. That's why. That's why it's fell down, Julia. It's too heavy.
Why are the bricks there?
They stack the bricks first, after they render on top. This is a very old way to do this.
Yeah.
Because they don't have, you know, the material strong enough to build this up.
Yeah.
So they have to do thinner they can. But now we can because we have that plaster.
Yeah.
Which can go.
Replacing cornicing wasn't anywhere on Julia's list for this room, and she hasn't even tackled the cracks in the ceiling and wall yet.
Surprise. You never know what you're going to get. You have to be prepared for anything. Surprises always cost money.
This is the 14th century 18-bedroom Domaine de la Barde. Once a thriving hotel, it sat unloved and abandoned for nearly a decade.
And it kind of takes me back to my childhood. It's very Enid Blyton.
Bought 5 months ago, owners Tim, a former chef, and his Filipino wife Chris have already beautifully restored one French chateau. But their challenge here is to open this dilapidated property to guests once more. Set in the Dordogne in southwest France, so far this winter, Tim and Chris have planted 450 yew bushes and cleared almost a decade of overgrowth from their tennis court.
The vision is to try and put the property back exactly how it used to be because it was so beautiful, and reinstate the avenue of topiary hedges leading up to the front of the chateau. Our plan is that people can enjoy the gardens again, go for a glass of wine and walk around with it, you know, just have a lovely sort of pre-dinner ramble.
Now Tim's got his sights set on the formal gardens and re-establishing the interwoven hornbeam hedges. The art of interweaving branches from different bushes to form avenues of tall hedges is known as pleaching, a technique that's been popular in French country estates since the 17th century.
So you've got two branches and they've fused and healed themselves together, like scabbed over, like when your skin re-heals. It's kind of done the same thing. So now these have made a solid branch out of two different branches.
But after years of neglect, Chris and Tim's hornbeams are in dire need of reshaping.
We've got gnarly trunks, which is nice because it makes it well, twisted and gives it character. But the stuff coming out, we really want to take most of that off.
To encourage the hedges to grow with a long, slender, stilt-like trunk, only the upper branches are pleached. So first, the lower trunks are trimmed back.
I guess it's like doing haircuts. I guess just keep trimming it away and then sort of stand back and all a bit more off the top, bit off the sides. I don't know, maybe I should have been a hairdresser. Who knows?
One way to keep the hornbeams looking smart is to make sure the bushes are exactly the same height.
The bamboo's my measuring stick, so basically anything above it will come off, anything below it can stay, and we'll see what we're left with at the end. Fingers crossed this is a sort of fairly good way of doing it. Can you chuck the bamboo up for me, Bert?
I'm just a little bit worried that we're not going to get the shape that we plan to achieve. There's a lot of branches that's already come off, and basically we're just left with some twiggly bits connected to the other twiggly bits, so...
Shoulders are burning.
The couple decide to call it quits for today.
In my head, it was going to be so easy, but it's too physical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job.
Then when?
It'll be springtime before they see if their walkway has worked, but with yet another garden project to get underway, their grafting isn't over by a long shot. Across the country, British families who've taken on a chateau
They're not very even.
often find the only way to run these huge properties
Right, just there, darling.
is to all pitch in together.
Come on, you guys. I can't do this all myself.
In 2003, photographer Tim and fashion designer Sasha upped sticks from London in search of a new business venture in the south of France. Their magnificent Chateau DIY has become a successful wedding venue, and it's a real family affair.
We are really lucky and privileged to have Lily, our daughter, working with us, and her partner Luke. That has allowed us to enjoy life here.
In 2020, Lily took over wedding planning duties, but that's not all she does.
Sasha is still the main chef. Lily and she work as a team. Lily's taken over a lot of that.
And today, Lily has plans for a recipe to make use of the abundance of citrus fruit that grow in the chateau orchard, even well into the winter months.
We get hundreds of grapefruit from that tree. It's a special touch having homemade jam for the breakfast.
To pick the grapefruit for her jam, Lily needs the whole family's help.
It should just twist off.
Whoa!
Oh.
Don't go too crazy. We're going to have too many grapefruit to...
Blimey.
25-year-old Lily is taking charge in the kitchen, starting the jam making by zesting the grapefruit.
When was the last time you organised your drawer?
Never. Just gets chucked in, you know.
I wouldn't say the organisational skill is a family trait. One of us needs to be organised, so I guess that's me. But my thumb is definitely starting to ache a bit after zesting all of these. Last one.
With the zest put to one side, next job is to sweeten the very bitter fruit.
How you doing, Lils?
Good.
What's up?
I'm just getting to the next step.
Ooh, wow.
There's rather a lot of sugar. Then more I thought it was a pound of sugar to a pound of fruit.
Yeah?
Good grief. Wow. No wonder it tastes sweet and nice.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could put these in as well.
Give on. If this jam is too runny, we know who to blame. Oh my God, it's powder.
The jam goes on to simmer gently, and it'll take an hour to get the right consistency.
Does it go from what you've got in there now to that brown
Yeah,
marmalade?
yeah.
So what turns it brown?
When you cook sugar, white sugar, it goes brown as it cooks.
Really?
Caramelise.
Yeah.
I've only ever done baked beans on toast, so...
Well, you make that go brown.
Yeah, well, this is true.
It's all lovely and brown and caramelised.
The next stage is to add the grated zest for an extra zip to the taste.
How's it going?
Good.
Can I see what happens?
I'll just put the zest in.
It's a wonderful smell. It's so rich. I think it's just caramel with a tang. When can I try some?
I'm gonna let it boil for another half an hour and then spoon it into sterilised jam pots.
Left to set and cool, a few hours later, the family gets to sample the jam ahead of their guests.
Right. Who would like to try some marmalade?
Yum.
Gosh. This is really healthy.
Look at that. Serious dollop. Yum.
Mmm. It's perfect. Hey,
is it?
boy.
Gorgeous.
It's like
Caramelly.
it's like treacle.
1,000,000 calories a bite.
The marmalade can now go on the menu for guests to have a real taste of the south of France, straight from the chateau garden.
Well done, Lily. Fantastic. I'm not sure about giving the guests this.
I think we'll keep this for us. And then we've got all those grapefruit over there. You can make some more.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
In northern France at Le Fleur, the formidable project to re-establish the chateau's traditional landscape gardens is still in its earliest stages.
Just the size you don't want to fall it on your head. It's not...
Single-handedly felling holly trees that have grown to almost 30 feet is proving harder than Philip thought.
I don't even know which way it would fall, so... Still here. Still alive. I thought it would fall the other way, but hey, it's perfect like that as well.
The garden might be a battleground for Philip.
Girls, get your jackets on, wellies on.
But for Anna and daughters Lily and Ella, it's a forager's paradise.
Come on then, let's go. During the winter time, there isn't a lot of flowers, but we can find some really beautiful greenery. So it's a little bit of nature coming into the room and decoration, but without having to spend too much. Let's go and have a look over this way and see what we can find. Keep your eyes peeled for some nice green leaves. Oh, like right here, like that. Okay, and we want to look for ones with lots of nice leaves on them. Like that. Ooh, well done. Okay. What have you found? This is a typical, very muddy and wet winter here. We're often covered in mud. It's definitely not the glamorous chateau life, but this is definitely the dream.
After a successful outing, back inside, the girls' foraged ferns can be turned into colourful winter displays.
Is that pretty? Should we go and put it on the fireplace? Put it here in the middle.
No, I like it like
Oh, okay, you like it like that. Okay, yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Back amongst the holly, Philip's come unstuck.
The tree that didn't fall, so when I cut through it, just kept on the stump and my saw got caught. I have a second saw, but I don't think that's the elegant solution to just, that would be cheating. There must be a way to get that tree down without using more saws. So I'm gonna try to, I don't know what I do actually, what I'm gonna do. I feel like an idiot.
The saw won't budge, and neither will the tree. And with the last light fading, Philip will need to find a solution fast. In the Dordogne, Tim and Chris are moving on to another project in the restoration of their chateau's grounds.
We're going to crack on with our orchard. I'm really, really, really excited to get my hands on an old cider press and have a go at making my own apple juice, or if I'm lucky enough, cider.
But the chateau's once grand orchard is currently just 3 forlorn trees. The couple have bought 15 new saplings ready for planting.
We want to keep in line this tree to that tree. I'll pace it out and tell me when I've gone too far,
Okay.
and then we'll work out where they need to be banged in.
Originally, the orchard was landscaped into perfectly straight, tree-lined avenues, which Tim and Chris are going to try to replicate.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's just so we know where to dig the hole.
Is that the last post? That tree's not in line with this.
Hang on, we're doing it in line with this tree, though.
I thought we were following this tree.
Yeah, that tree to this tree.
Oh, sorry. Do it again. I don't think he trusts me anymore.
Alrighty.
That's it. That's not straight.
No, I know that you're supposed to be telling me if they're straight, but you were too busy yakking, weren't you?
Tim's invested in a digger to help with his gardening project. But for Chris, it's a hands-on job to plant the trees.
What?
Ow! I forgot!
Doing each post first.
Sorry. I forgot. It's digging it really deep, I think. Oh my, and they're heavy trees. I'm only small.
With planting just begun and 15 trees to get in the ground,
Okay. Oh, good.
Chris could be in for a long day. In southern France, renovations are continuing on Julia's bedroom so it can be let as a bridal suite. With new plasterboard in place above the window, the next job is to address the cracks her furniture has been hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see what's happening?
Yes.
I think we have to take all this off, Julia.
Yes.
This bit is good. See how bad it is. Yeah, this is a brick. That's good. We can render on top.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad then.
And on the ceiling,
Yeah, I mean, you have lots of little cracks, which is most of that gonna cover with the paint.
it's also better news than Julia was expecting.
So how many more days of plastering to finish the room, do you think?
Yeah, for all these gaps and that, you know, those little bits, 1 day and maybe one more day too.
Okay.
2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
With a few days until she can decorate the bridal suite, Julia has time for a creative job at the chateau's front entrance, which will also ensure no guests are late for the wedding.
The sat-navs actually lead you straight to here, but it's so easy just to miss this because all they see is the end of the barn and they can't actually see the chateau when they're driving past. So the sign I'm working on at the moment is going to hang on the wall here. As people are coming down there, she'll be able to see the sign.
Julia's using an old wooden shutter to make her sign, and a local friend has drawn the lettering for her.
It's not exactly a stencil, so he's written it all out for me.
But there's a slight hitch. A local historian researching place names in the area has raised a flag about Julia's chateau.
Since we've done this, my property's name has been changed. I've always known it as Le Mas de Prieur, but the local authorities are putting new signage all over the area, and they've changed a little bit of the spelling. So they've taken the Le away, and the E in de is a U, which is apparently what it originally was and should be.
Julia will have to make it work with the letters she has.
I'm not doing too much to it. I want it to look really rustic. I want the sign to ultimately look like it's been hanging up on the wall for 30, 40, 50 years. I don't want anything to look new or just done. It's decaying decadence is how I like to call it.
With a wood sealer applied, Julia can start with the lettering.
So getting chalk all over the lettering. Right.
Outlining each letter with a pencil should leave a chalk imprint on the sign, ready to fill in with paint.
Okay, so hasn't got the U, but let's have a look. So good. I'm just going to paint in the letters now. I think it will be good. I'm happy.
Julia's chateau may be hidden by beautiful old trees, but her new signage should now bring guests right to the door. In the Normandy countryside, Philip is still struggling to fell the tree that's trapped his chainsaw.
So I'm going for the rope. So how to throw a rope onto a tree. Never done that. Maybe with a stick. So I just really don't want to call my neighbor in. It's just, you know, he's a farmer. We're coming from a city. It just looks a bit ridiculous, doesn't it? I see it's just going to be another massive fail, but who knows?
Philip isn't one to let fear of failure put him off.
Nope. I'm also really bad at throwing things. Almost. Yes. Not bad.
But despite some very vigorous tugging, the tree still isn't going anywhere. Time for extra horsepower.
I don't want Anna to see that disaster. So the rope isn't nowhere properly attached, and it's also way too thin, so, but let's see what happens.
With the flimsy rope somehow holding.
I can't believe it, success.
Just a few seconds of towing, and the tree has finally fallen.
I'm genuinely happy.
Luckily, not on the car.
Still breathing. I think she's fine. Yeah. Hey, what do you think?
I see you got chainsaw happy.
I'm chainsaw happy, and all the trees came down like nothing. Was so easy.
Yeah?
Yes.
What?
What?
What happened?
No, this. Why? What happened? Nothing happened.
I don't know. Why are you looking like
No,
that?
nothing.
What?
What?
Why is that attached to the car? What happened?
Well, what happened is that the chainsaw got stuck and the tree was still standing.
Yeah.
I literally cut the whole tree, and the whole tree fell on the chainsaw. Well, it didn't fall, it just, you know, I cut, and it was sitting on the chainsaw.
And you couldn't get it off.
And I couldn't get it off.
But you managed to...
I managed. It worked with this tiny rope.
It's not the one I said don't cut it down, is it?
Oops. No, it's the one behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is that? Just a holly tree?
It's just a holly tree, yeah.
I think you need to tidy up.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, now it's too late.
Yeah, but no more chopping down any more holly, okay, before you've cleaned up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Fair enough.
Okay.
It's not until the next day that Philip is able to see the benefit of his hard work.
So I can finally see the gap that I produced, and I can finally see the view, the potential view on the field, and then the land behind. I'm sure originally here it was planted with some nice shrubs, and I definitely want to replant some shrubs. I would go for some rhododendrons to bring in some color, and they would do really fine underneath this tree, I'm sure.
I think it's really important that the grounds are equally beautiful as the chateau. We want to create something really beautiful for our guests to enjoy, and I know that it won't happen overnight.
They may have made a good start outside, but inside, there's still a long way to go before their fourth guest suite is ready for the summer season. So, The grounds may have to be put on the back burner for a while. In the Dog Doin, Chris is attempting to plant the first sapling of her and husband Tim's new orchard.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna get the soil around it.
What happened to the mallet, then? How can we... Every time I use the mallet, I put it down and then lose it.
Is that in line?
If they're a little bit out, it makes it more rustic, doesn't it? So...
Thank you for helping.
That's what I'm here for, Beb. It's just not all about digger work.
I thought you were going to leave me to do this on my own. Thank you.
All right, shall I wash that down with some pond water? Tread that in, I'll get you some mulch.
Made from bark chippings, mulch keeps weeds away and makes sure the young tree roots retain water.
You ready for this?
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it'll get spread. The animals will knock it everywhere, so...
Tree 1 is in.
There's another 14 to go.
What are we going to go with?
Well,
Ah, pomme de renette. How does the song go?
pomme de renette, pomme d'api, tapi, tapi rouge.
Owen's learning that at school. Loves it.
It will probably be at least 2 years until the family get to enjoy the fruits of this labour, but they can already taste success.
It will be living the dream when we're drinking our own cider. Well, as they always say, a chateau is for life, not just for Christmas, you know, so...
I think that's a dog.
Hug?
There's still plenty to be done in the grounds, but the family is well on their way to having their very own apple orchard. Planting is finished for today, just as 3-year-old son Owen returns.
You make that at school? Look at that! Well done. Very clever. Look, what's your favourite fruit? Apples! Of course they are. Look what we planted, loads. Hey, and we've got your favourite ones. What's the apple song? Hey! This is a really productive time we're having. You know, we can eat all the, you know, it's for us, you know, we're doing things for ourselves, you know, it's nice. It's all for our family. It's great.
In southern France, Julia's new sign is ready to hang on the side of the barn and guide guests to the less than obvious entrance to her chateau.
So exciting. It's lovely. I really like it. I think it's going to look gorgeous.
Where's the champagne?
Yeah, we should christen it.
Block at the back, Julia, at the top.
Yeah, it's tilting one way, not the other.
Yeah, let's try. I get the screwdriver.
The sign is slightly angling upwards, so I just want to put a bit of timber behind the top to angle it slightly downwards.
Like that.
Yes, it has to be perfect. I want to walk down here, see what it looks like. Oh, it's lovely. Except I haven't put the little hat over the A of the chateau.
Julia will correct the spelling later, as now that the builders are finished in the bridal suite, it's ready for her to complete. Once she's done one last job, the new curtains.
So I'm going to sew the fringing on the bottom of the curtains. Just going to tack it on. The curtains are all made. The lining is the original curtains that were hanging up in there, so I've reused that. So this is all I need to do now. This attempt at curtain making is my very, very first. It's been really quite tedious doing these curtains because it's taken me ages just because I really don't know what I'm doing. But that's all part of it, isn't it? Living in a chateau, renovating it, creating everything you want in it. It's all a part of your expression of yourself. So it's really important to do it yourself and not just have someone make them for you. It's part of putting your energy into the place, making it your own. And that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the curtains that were originally up there, because the previous owner's wife, she made all these. And they've been hanging up there for 50 years. And her spirit and Bernard's spirit are still here. So we all live happily together.
The former owner was renowned French artist Bernard Dufour, and Julia has even kept his studio almost as he left it.
I feel the presence of Bernard here a lot, and especially in the gardens, and quite often, out of the corner of my eye, I think I see someone in the garden moving, and I look and there's no one there, and I'm sure it's Bernard walking around in the gardens. Okay, all the pins are out. Okay, Minky, should we go hang it up?
With her curtains which link the chateau's past to its present hung, Julia can add the finishing touches, which, as always for the artist and interior designer, are a mixture of family treasures, such as her grandmother's dressing table, and carefully chosen items she's collected or made herself.
I like to find objects that mean something to me personally, especially because this is a room that's my room, really, most of the time.
Since she's also going to let it as a bridal suite when required, Julia's been careful not to make it too personal.
I've kept it very open and spacious, have the big armoire in there so they can hang the wedding dress from it and lots of space. I will be putting in the table with champagne and glasses, things like that. So it will make it feel a little bit more special, not just in someone's bedroom.
For the 2 years she's lived here, Julia's bedroom was way down her priority list, with crumbling cornicing, cracked plaster, and none of her signature style. Now, the cracks are gone, and the wall is a subtle but warm green, which allows Julia's curtains to be her statement piece.
I love this room. I love the colour. I just love the colour. And I'm going to enjoy lying in bed just looking at the walls and the curtains. The floors have come up beautifully, being oiled. They just look amazing. And it's just a really gorgeous, simple, elegant room. Not overdone, just how I like it.
For now, she gets to move back in and appreciate her hard work, knowing she has another key room that's ready for guests.
I really hope it's going to help bring business in. I hope someone's going to see it and just love the look of the room and the whole place and want to have their wedding here or any celebration here.
Next time, new techniques cause headaches for Anna.
Well, we're getting there.
Are we?
No.
Floods mean repairs for Julia.
The flooding's come up to about that level, and all the electrics of these are underneath, so they get destroyed.
And no running water can't stop the cleanup for Tim and Chris.
Do you want me to take it?
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, well, they're heavy, aren't they? No, I'm a gentleman.